Chapter 1022. The camera captured this scene and broadcasted it live. The netizens couldn't help laughing. Xiong Corporation's Fong Fong. Do you still remember that you're a domineering CEO? You even had your ears pinched by your sister. Shame on you. On the other side, the four brothers of the Xiong family were fighting over Bunny to dance. I'll go first. Why should you go first? I should be the one going first. Xiong Yu and Xiong Qi were fighting like rookies. Their fighting prowess was obvious, and the netizens assumed that they had already withdrawn from the competition. The real highlight was the game between the second brother, Xiong Li, and the eldest brother, Sangchen. Xiong Li adjusted his glasses and said calmly, "Big brother, you're old and your legs aren't good. I'm afraid you'll step on Tutu." Xiong Yi's eyes were filled with fear. "Second brother, do you want to die?" The netizens also praised Xiong Li. "Dr. Xiong, you're brave." Sangchen sneered. "It's better than your uncoordinated limbs." Xiong Li, "Big brother, you hurt my heart." Xiong Li's genius brain worked quickly and chose a roundabout strategy. He looked at Xiong Yi. "Tutu, who do you want to dance with first?" Xiong Yi swallowed. "I think it's okay if we don't dance. I'm not that good at dancing." She wasn't being modest, but she really wasn't that good at dancing. "You have to choose." Then. Xiong Yi's eyes went back and forth between the two brothers, and finally landed on Xiong Li. She wasn't afraid of stepping on second brother, but if she stepped on big brother's foot? Xiong Yi didn't dare to imagine. Sangchen said calmly, "You can choose the person you like the most." Xiong Yi. She swallowed the words, "second brother," that were at the tip of her tongue. Xiong Li said helplessly, "Big brother, you're being immoral." Sangchen sneered. "I don't need to be moral with you guys." Xiong Yi, who was sandwiched in the middle, weak, helpless, and pitiful. Having too many older brothers was sometimes a problem. Suddenly, a beautiful figure entered Xiong Yi's eyes. The girl's eyes lit up. "I choose her." Xiong Li? Sangchen was confused. Everyone looked in the direction she was pointing. Song Qiuqiu was holding a plate of desserts. As if realizing that something was wrong, she turned her neck and met four murderous gazes. "Oh ho!" Song Qiuqiu was startled. Xiong Yi had already run in front of her. The girl's slender arm drew a semicircle in the air, the standard posture of a man inviting a woman to dance. "Sister Song, may I invite you to dance?" Song Qiuqiu's voice was sweet as she teased, "Are you using me as a shield?" Xiong Yi revealed an awkward but polite smile. "Who asked me to like our tutu?" Song Qiuqiu gracefully hugged Xiong Yi and gave her a sweet wink. "Let's make it clear, I'll do the male step, and you'll do the female step." Xiong Yi's ears turned slightly red. The live stream viewers. Brothers and sisters, the new cult couple has appeared. As a result, the crowd watched as the two beautiful girls hugged each other and joined the crowd for the opening dance. Without a filter, the scene still looked like pink bubbles. The cameraman specially gave the Xiong brothers a close-up. The depressed expressions on their faces were so realistic. However, Song Qiuqiu was their future little aunt. They could ignore their little uncle, but they still had to respect their little aunt. "Ha ha ha, our tutu is so clever." Madame Xiong clapped and laughed. "Old man, hurry up and buy coconuts for Sui Sui." Chapter 1023. Xiong Yin looked like an old man on the subway who was staring at his cell phone. How did this happen? How did this happen? He couldn't figure out why the two girls could dance with their arms around each other and why there were so many people cheering in the comment section. "Old man, you have to admit defeat." Xiong Yin pursed his lips and reluctantly paid for the drinks. Shi Sui inserted the straws one by one and handed them to Xiong Yin and Madame Xiong before picking up her coconut. "Thank you, Grandpa." Xiong Yin drank a few mouthfuls of coconut juice and said earnestly, "Sui Sui." The way he addressed her made Shi Sui's hands tremble slightly and she almost dropped the coconut. The waves in the distance were rolling, just like Shi Sui's mood at this moment. "Grandpa, you You'd better pay more attention in the future. We can't let other men abduct Xiang-yi. Similarly, we can't let other women abduct her either. Shi Sui couldn't help but burst into laughter. The feeling of being acknowledged and cared for seems to be pretty good. The dance was over. Song Qiuqiu held Xiangyi's waist with one hand and gently pinched Xiangyi's little face with the other. Because of this action, the audience applauded loudly and the viewers of the live stream were in a frenzy. Let's go to school together. When I was a child, I wanted to be an astronaut. When I grow up, I want to be an anthropologist. I can watch this face pinch 10 times. Sister Tian x Sister Tian, the sugar content is way over the line. Xiangyi skipped back to her brothers and reached out to Xiang-Qi. Xiang-Qi, my bag. The strawberry knitted bag on her back was stitched by Xiang-Qi with great care. Even the strawberry leaves were vivid and lifelike. Do you want it? Xiang-Qi waved the strawberry bag in front of her. Praise me with at least 200 words. Xiangyi was amused. Xiang-yin, you're so childish. However, she still cooperated and began to suck up to him. Xiang-yin, you're a stunning beauty and an immortal designer. You have a unique sense of aesthetics. Xiang-Qi beamed with joy and helped her carry her bag. All right, big brother, my phone. Xiangyi looked at her fourth brother, Xiang-Yu. Before the dance, she had given her bag to third brother and her phone to fourth brother. Xiang-Yu followed suit. 300 words. The girl hesitated for a few seconds before deciding to praise him. Big brother, you're the light of esports, the #1 sniper in the country. The way Big brother fights, your every move is like a pictorial. After much difficulty, she finally managed to scrape together 300 words. Exhausted, the young lady finally took back her phone. She felt her mouth go dry, and suddenly there was a glass of lemon soda in front of her. Second brother is so gentle and considerate. Xiangyi raised her hand to take it, but Xiangli raised his cup and smiled like a spring breeze. It's my turn. Xiangyi, this. Xiangli lowered his eyelids. Is it because I'm not worthy? You don't deserve my sister's praise. Of course not. Then 500 words. In order to scrape together 500 words, Xiangyi could be said to have racked her brains and used up all the adjectives she had in her life. Big brother is an amazing genius. His IQ is outstanding, and he's also black-bellied, meticulous. After much difficulty, she finally drank the water that her second brother brought over. Suddenly, a deep and cold voice sounded in her ears. What about me? Xiangyi turned her neck stiffly and met her eldest brother's dark eyes. Big brother, I really can't do it. Heh. He smiled with 3 parts coldness, 3 parts indifference, and 4 parts indifference. The little rabbit trembled. I think I can do it again. 800 words. Huh? Don't repeat it with them. Xiangyi wanted to cry but had no tears. Chapter 1024. The girl had a sullen expression on her face, seemingly on the verge of tears. She looked adorable and was much more amusing than her usual calm demeanor. The netizens laughed out loud. I can't take it anymore. The Xiang family Adonis can change their name to childish primary school students. Ha ha ha. 800 words. The length is equivalent to a college entrance examination essay. Big brother is awesome. It can't be repeated. Ha ha ha, this is too much of a test for our kids' vocabulary. Who can praise her like this? Xiangyi struggled for more than 10 seconds before an idea struck her and she began to praise him in English. The netizens were dumbfounded. In addition to words like handsome, self-disciplined, and efficient, the girl also mixed in a bunch of English poems. The netizens were dumbfounded. Ha ha ha, she's so witty. Phew. After finally getting enough words, Xiangyi heaved a long sigh of relief and carefully asked, Big brother, are you satisfied? If not, I'll think about it again. The corners of Xiang Chen's mouth twitched slightly before returning to a cold and indifferent smile. Barely. Xiang Yi felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted from her shoulders. Her aunt's teasing voice rang in her ears. Little Tutu, what about me? Xiangyi was speechless. Xiang Feng also joined in the fun. Me too, me too. The little girl's expression could be described as hopeless. The netizens were also laughing uncontrollably. Auntie should have at least 1,000 words, right? I'm dying of laughter. The way the Xiang family interacts with each other is so funny. Chow Beanbag, doesn't her uncle deserve at least 100 words of praise? The person in front, 50 words at most, no more. Ha ha ha, Xiang Feng is at the bottom of the food chain. Auntie. Xiangyi put her hands together and said coquettishly, Dear Auntie, please spare me. The sudden coquettish behavior stunned the countless netizens in front of their screens. Xiangyi had always given people the impression that she was calm, composed, and had a seriousness that did not match her age. The netizens often neglected the fact that she was still young. Today's coquettish behavior instantly hit the hearts of countless people. This is love. Yes. Not to mention the audience, even Xiang Wan couldn't take it. She clutched her heart. Little rabbit, you, say that again. Aunt, please spare me. Ah. Xiang Wan was extremely excited. Again. Xiangyi blinked her eyes, and a sweet little dimple appeared on her cheeks. Auntie, I beg you please. The girl's voice was sweet to begin with, but after she softened her voice and acted coquettishly, she sounded like a squeaky milk ball. She really wanted to poke and pinch her cheeks. Xiang Wan took 2 steps back. She couldn't take it anymore. Little rabbit, what do you want? Aunt will buy it for you. Xiangyi's eyes glinted cunningly. She thought she had finally escaped a calamity, but she didn't expect Xiangyu to suddenly grab her shoulder. The cool and arrogant esports god said in all seriousness, Little sister, act coquettishly. Xiangyi? ? Xiang Qi's eyes also lit up. Hurry up. Xiangyi. Xiang Li pushed his glasses and smiled like a warm breeze in March. Tutu, I want one too. Xiangyi. She looked at Sangchen for help, begging him to control these indecent brothers. Sangchen adjusted his cufflinks. His temperament was cold and abstinent, like the snow falling from the distant mountains. Wait a minute, I'll record a video. The netizens huffed, as expected of the great demon king. Ah! It's bad enough that Big Brother didn't stop them, but he's actually helping them. Boo-hoo. Chapter 1025. Half an hour later. Xiangyi was like a child who was being put on a show by her aunts during the spring festival. After she was done acting coquettishly, exhaustion was written all over her face. Little did she know that in the past half an hour, the Spicy Tutu fans had taken countless screenshots and recorded countless short videos. Countless people had experienced the process of going from being a fan of Xiang Yi to a fan of Xiang Yi and then to a fan of Xiang Yi's boyfriend. Oh my beautiful sister! Who is this cute kid from? No, motherly love is going to change. I really want to transmigrate into She Sui and marry Sister Yi. However, there were also haters in the live stream. Xiangyi is so pretentious. She's already a grown-up. Can't she speak properly? Yeah, I can't stand it either. I've never acted coquettishly with my family. It feels so awkward. To be honest, if she speaks like that in my house, my father will beat her up. Girls should be more dignified and magnanimous. Being coquettish is too petty. In this regard, the netizens' reaction was a question mark. Are you there? Do you know that the Qing dynasty is long gone? What's wrong with her? She's not acting coquettishly with you guys. She's acting coquettishly with her family, okay? Sorry, my mother said that she doesn't like girls who act coquettishly, but I just showed her the video of Sister Yi acting coquettishly. My mother has already followed Sister Yi's Weibo account and she even asked me what it means to hit the charts. The two groups of people started arguing. The haters had fewer people, but they were good at attacking from tricky angles and were very aggressive. Both sides fell into a war of words for a while. There were even people who went to Shi Sui and posted comments that were even more confusing. You like your girlfriend when she's like this? I thought you had high standards. Spicy Tutu, Sister Shi Sui, and Untimely C's fans were all furious when they saw such comments. Before they had time to compare the comments, a new post about Shi Sui suddenly appeared on Weibo. Shi Sui v. She has all the looks I like. I like everything about her Xiangyi. The haters were speechless. TSK. As an award-winning actor, do you live on Weibo? The speed of the response was too fast. However, the fans were overjoyed. A slap to the face from the government was the most fatal. Lu. Shi Sui did it today. Your friend wife doting demon Sui Sui Z is online. I seriously suspect that Shi Sui surfs 5G every day. Pay close attention to Sister Yi's every move. Some netizens joked and commented. Sister Yi acted coquettishly in front of her 4 brothers. She was just short of acting coquettishly in the arms of her lover. When we go back, we have to let Sister Yi make up for it. A few seconds later, a system notification appeared. Shi Sui liked this Weibo post. The netizen. He imagined Xiangyi's soft and tender body nestled in the arms of a refined, ascetic man, and her delicate and coquettish appearance. How indescribable would that be? On this day, Untimely C's fans went crazy. All sorts of immortals and madams were pouring out food. Fan fiction, Q maps, short videos. The couple's fans were cheering with tears in their eyes. At the same time, at the party, it was time for the group photo session. The most eye-catching ones were naturally the Xiong family. In order to compete for the spot next to their younger sister, the Xiong brothers went back and forth and engaged in a verbal battle. In the end, Sangchen won one spot with his absolute strength, while Xiong Wan won the other spot by crushing Sangchen. Xiong Qi said in a pained tone, "It's too hard for the 3 of us." Xiong Li and Xiong Yu nodded in agreement. Xiong Feng was speechless. Isn't he human? Chapter 1026. Xiong Feng's expression was so vivid that the netizens started another round of merciless ridicule. Ha ha ha, Xiong Feng is so pitiful. The most transparent and domineering CEO in history. Xiong Feng's grandfather and Madame Xiong despised him, his sister pulled his ear, and his nephew forced him to climb up a tree. I suggest everyone post hashtag Xiong Feng is too hard hashtag on the public chat. Xiong Wan had hired several photographers, and each of them was at the level of a top fashion magazine's photographer. They could even take a group photo with them. The Xiong family was so good-looking that they looked good in all the photos. Everyone had their photos taken individually, and they had also taken a group photo, and so on. Okay, next is the group photo. Miss Xiong, why don't you stand in the middle? The netizens also felt that given Xiong Wan's status, she was the most suitable person to stand in the center. Out of everyone's expectations, Xiong Wan flipped her curly hair. She had always been sharp-tongued, but today, her tone was exceptionally gentle. Xiong Yi should be the one standing in the middle. That had always been a tradition of the Xiong family. The Xiong family would take a family photo every year. For the past 2 years, Xiangyi had been standing behind Xiong Feng's grandfather, Madame Xiong. When Xiangyi was a child, Xiong Feng's grandfather, Madame Xiong, would hold her in his arms for the photo. The photographer was secretly surprised, but he remained calm on the surface. Let's get started then. Let's take a traditional photo first, and then a more interesting one later, okay? The shutters clicked, and the netizens in front of the screen were also frantically taking screenshots. The screen was filled with good-looking men and women who were comparable to the top celebrities in the entertainment industry. The fans who were obsessed with good looks were about to faint. Every frame could be used as the cover of a magazine. In particular, Xiangyi, who was in the middle of the crowd, was young, but her facial features were gradually maturing, and she vaguely had the aura of a great beauty. This family is so good-looking. Xiong Feng's grandfather, Madame Xiong, was also super good-looking. Yes, Sister Yi's parents are probably very good-looking too, damn. Don't look at their photos. Someone on the live stream claims to be Xiangyi's parents. The news was so shocking that countless netizens immediately downloaded the Ocean Live app. The account, Father E and Mother E, was ranked first on the number of viewers. Although they were new streamers, the two of them already had more than 1 million fans. The number of viewers in their live broadcast room had also reached a terrifying number of millions. The netizens clicked on it out of curiosity and were shocked. This middle-aged couple looked 70% similar to Xiangyi. What was going on? Could they really be Sister Yi's parents? The two of them chatted casually with the netizens. When they saw more and more people in the live broadcast room, they suddenly cleared their throats. Today, we're doing this live stream mainly to expose one thing. The man who called himself Father E sat up straight and said, "Actually, Xiangyi isn't my biological daughter. She was adopted." Mother E sobbed and said, "I was blinded by greed. Because our family was too poor, I sent my poor daughter to be raised by a rich family." The live stream was in an uproar. Wasn't this too unimaginable? Some people also raised their doubts. Are you really Xiangyi's biological parents? Do you have any evidence? The two of them came prepared, as if they had already expected this question. They took out a brown paper bag and said, "The evidence is in here, but we decided not to make it public." Chapter 10:27. Yes, we thought about it. In order not to affect Xiangyi's life in the future, we decided to bury this secret. Father E said in a pained tone. He lit up the paper bag with a lighter and burned it. The so-called evidence was reduced to ashes. The fans were dumbfounded. What kind of trick is this? Since you don't want to affect Xiangyi, why did you start a live stream? I'm so confused. Eh? Why did you burn it just like that? How do we know if there's a piece of white paper inside? Are you guys insulting my IQ? It's obvious that you're trying to ride on my coattails. However, there were too many netizens and it was impossible for them to come to a consensus. There were conspiracy theorists and netizens who claimed to be little detectives who started making up stories to justify themselves. First of all, these two people look a lot like Xiangyi. Are there so many people in the world who look alike? There's no way to clear that up, right? Secondly, don't you think that Xiangyi's brother is too nice to Xiangyi? Maybe he doesn't treat her as his sister at all, but as a child bride. Thirdly, the fact that they burned the evidence shows that the two of them are very close to Xiangyi. Otherwise, if they just made it public, Xiangyi wouldn't be able to continue being a rich and beautiful woman. Lastly, I want to say that Xiangyi is probably from a wealthy family just by looking at her face. There's no way she's destined to be rich and powerful, everyone. Welcome to plus XXXX fortune telling for only 200 yuan. Some radical netizens even felt that they had been deceived by Xiangyi and went to Xiangyi's Weibo and livestream to denounce her. There were also people who frantically tagged the director in charge of today's livestream and asked him to interview Xiangyi. After watching the middle-aged couple's livestream, the director was speechless. How can anyone believe such clumsy acting skills? Asking Sister E to clarify things would be an insult to Sister E. He told the staff, "There's no need for that, the innocent will know." A few nosy socialites quickly surrounded Xiangyi when she went to the buffet area. "Sister E, sorry to disturb you, but we have a question for you," Xiangyi said good-naturedly. What happened?" "Well, did you watch the live broadcast? The two of them said that they were your biological parents." Xiangyi looked at the screen and saw a pair of unfamiliar faces in the live stream. She said indifferently, "No." Various netizens began to overinterpret her expression. She's using nonchalance to cover up the turbulence in her heart. The more a liar is exposed, the angrier they will be. The more a guilty person is questioned, the calmer they will be. This was all based on psychology. 2 words. Faking it. In another live stream room. After Father and Mother E received the notification, they suddenly started acting as if they had been possessed by a drama queen. Mother E covered her face and wept. "It's my fault for being useless. That's why my daughter has to lead a wandering life." Father E thumped his chest and stamped his feet. "Daughter, come back. I can't give you riches and glory, but I can still provide you with 3 meals a day. Are you coveting the Xiong family's gold, silver, and jewels and looking down on your own parents? You don't want to provide for the 2 of us when we're old? Daughter, you're being unfilial. The 2 of them cried and acted well. Some netizens who had poor judgment believed them, especially the middle-aged and elderly netizens who were sensitive to the topic of unfilial piety. They were so affected that their eyes turned red. In the buffet area, Xiong Feng, who was stuffing macarons into his mouth, turned around and cursed, "What the hell? How dare you slander our little bunny? You're trying to kill her." Xiangyi, who didn't take it seriously at all, was distracted by the menu for dinner. Shrimp. It tastes better with steamed eggs. The socialites were dumbfounded. Chapter 1028. Xiong Feng was stunned for a moment and was led astray by Xiongyi's train of thought. Actually, pig's heart tastes good too. Pig's heart soup is always divine. The socialites. Come on, why are you 2 talking about food? In the live stream, I spat a mouthful of water onto the screen. I realized that Uncle Xiong really has a gift for being a comedian. He's so funny. Little muddle-headed Xiong Yi is so cute. Come on, Mommy will cook shrimp and steamed eggs for you. One of the socialites deliberated over her words and said carefully, Sister Yi, are these 2 trying to gain popularity? Someone else said, Ah, the innocent knows they're innocent. Why bother arguing with such people? People these days are really shameless for the sake of traffic and popularity. Xiongyi nodded slightly. Thank you for the reminder. I'll deal with it as soon as possible. At this moment, the 2 people who were live streaming were crying even harder. Mothery said, Oh God, how did I give birth to such a heartless daughter? You've enjoyed all the glory, wealth, success, and fame, but you don't even acknowledge your biological parents. Fathery patted her on the shoulder. It's okay, we'll just pretend that we never had this daughter. The rational netizens felt that there were many loopholes and suggested that the 2 of them produce evidence. Their eyes flickered, revealing a trace of guilt. They weren't Xiongyi's biological parents. They were just 2 extras hired by the marketing department of Dahai Livestream. The reason why they spared no effort in acting was that Dahai Livestream had promised them a house and 100,000 yuan in cash as long as they put on such a show. In just a short while, the number of downloads of the Dahai Livestream app soared and successfully took away the traffic of Xingchen Livestream. Seeing the 2 of them stammering and not saying anything for a long time, more and more netizens became suspicious. I keep feeling that there's something fishy. There's no evidence, and they even burned the so-called evidence. Whoever believes them is an idiot. Even if they're her biological parents, the disgusting ones aren't Sister E, but this couple. They abandoned their daughter first, and now that she's popular, they're reuniting with her? I think they just want money. At the venue of the party, Xiongyi walked up to her brother and said a few words. The camera was a little far away this time, so they couldn't hear their conversation clearly. However, the crowd had witnessed the great demon king unleashing his aura. Through the screen, the overwhelming aura seemed to crush everything in the world. Countless people held their breaths, not daring to make a sound. Sangchen took out his phone and dialed a number. Under the strong cheers of the audience, the director boldly moved the camera closer to the Xiong siblings. The sound recording device captured the conversation between the 2. Xiongyi, brother, if I'm really not Mom and Dad's biological daughter, Sangchen interrupted her, don't make such an impossible assumption. I'm just saying. The cold and steady man was silent for a few seconds. Suddenly, he raised his hand and patted his sister's little head. Blood ties are not the only thing that binds people together. Even if we are not related by blood, nothing will change. You will always be my only biological sister. You will always be our little rabbit. No one expected the great demon Sangchen to say such words. Even Xiongyi was stunned for a few seconds. After a while, the girl sniffled and looked up at him. Brother will always be my brother. Chapter 1029. This heartwarming scene was very touching. However, the sound of sobbing and sniffling from the side ruined the atmosphere. Tutu, come give me a hug. I'll always be your uncle too. And Chen Chen, you'll always be my nephew too. Sangchen moved perfectly and avoided Xiang Feng's hug. Xiang Feng blankly typed a question mark. Am I being despised? Xiangyi took the initiative to hug her uncle and said in a soft voice, Uncle, don't cry. You look so ugly when you cry. Sister Song will. Xiangyi paused and hesitated to speak. Xiang Feng was so touched that he cried, Tutu is still the best. You must be worried that Song Song will feel sorry for me. She's really my sweetheart. No. I'm just afraid that Sister Song will laugh too loudly when she sees you crying. Xiang Feng was speechless. Thinking of how he was trapped in a tree when he was a child and Song Qiuqiu laughed hysterically with his hands on his waist, Xiang Feng felt terrible. Xiang Feng, storm cry. After comparing the two live streams, most netizens came to their senses. At first glance, it was just a farce. However, there were also a small number of stubborn netizens who believed the words of Father E and Mother E. As public figures, shouldn't filial piety be the top priority? Giving birth to a child is better than giving birth to a child. Parents giving their child life is the greatest kindness. The child must repay the kindness. I don't believe there are parents in this world who don't love their children. On the contrary, children don't know how to repay their parents. Be filial to your parents. Especially Xiangyi, she's a negative example. On the internet, information often spread quickly. Many people had forgotten that what they could see was often what others wanted them to see. He didn't even know that he was being used as a tool. On the live stream, Father E and Mother E acted for a while, repeating the same lines over and over again. The netizens began to get tired of the aesthetic. Are there any more new melons? No more. The marketing department of Ocean Livestream was already prepared. They made a gesture, and the middle-aged woman who played Mother E understood. She wiped away her tears and said in a tone of despair, Actually, I have chronic kidney failure, also known as uremia. I need a kidney transplant. The doctor said that the compatibility between family members is the highest, but I've looked around and found no suitable one. Now, my only hope is my daughter. This melodramatic plot immediately attracted the attention of many people. Her biological mother needed a kidney transplant. As her biological daughter, shouldn't she donate a kidney? This instantly became the topic of debate among the netizens in the live stream. Mother E was secretly overjoyed. According to the script, the live stream was about to end at this point. Soon, she and her husband would be able to receive the reward for the live broadcast in the ocean. The next second, in the live broadcast room, a few lines of yellow text suddenly appeared. That was the special effect when gifting gifts, but it was used as a notification. Our company has accepted Madame Xiangyi's request and will file a lawsuit against the relevant personnel who slandered Madame Xiangyi. According to our country's laws, those who slander others and the circumstances are serious will be sentenced to imprisonment of not more than 3 years, criminal detention, public surveillance, or deprivation of political rights. Above. When Father E and Mother E saw this message, they were dumbfounded. Why are you suing us? Father E couldn't sit still anymore. He stood up abruptly and said, The contract didn't say anything about this. The staff wanted to stop them, but it was too late. Mother E immediately threw a tantrum. Then we're not acting anymore. Is there anyone like you? There's no justice in this. Chapter 1030. Whoosh. The staff of Ocean Livestream hurriedly cut off the live stream. The live stream went dark, but the netizens' comments exploded. Hey? Acting? Contract? Who did they sign the contract with? Is it Ocean Livestream? Hey, I originally thought this drama was boring, but now I'm not sleepy anymore. A senior executive of Ocean Livestream called and yelled, Who turned off the live stream? I'm asking who turned off the live stream. What's the difference between this and a guilty conscience? The staff member said weakly, then we're thieves. The senior executive was speechless. Hurry up and get out of here. Ocean Livestream's original plan was to hire the 2 extras to act, and after attracting popularity and downloads, they would get rid of them, claiming that everything was directed by the 2 of them and had nothing to do with Ocean Livestream. As for the house and money that they had promised, of course, they couldn't fulfill that promise. However, they never expected that the lawyer would come directly to the live stream to inform them of the news. What was even more unexpected was that the 2 actors had betrayed them and betrayed them. Ocean Livestream fell into chaos, and the major departments hurriedly held meetings to discuss how to deal with public relations. Unfortunately, their public relations were far slower than the speed of the netizens' gossiping. At this moment, public opinion actually backfired. I'm laughing my head off. This should be the funniest scene in the industry. Ocean Livestream, don't show your face. It's already been uninstalled. There are thousands of live stream apps. If one doesn't work, let's switch to a smile. I'm so angry. The elders at home believed it and even wiped their tears, but it turned out to be a scam. I'll never use any of Ocean Livestream's products again. The netizens' anger towards the 2 scammers and Ocean Livestream all turned into pity and love for Xiangyi. Everyone flocked to the live stream of the party. Some sent gifts, some left messages to comfort her, and most silently supported her with their actions. Those who didn't have the Xingchen live stream app went to download one. Hence, something happened that made Ocean Livestream vomit blood. The number of downloads they had attracted was less than the number of downloads after the incident. On the other hand, the number of downloads of Xingchen Livestream skyrocketed, leaving Ocean Livestream in the dust. The technical department of Xingchen Livestream even posted an emoji on Weibo, salted fish winning. Their hatred had been raised to the max. It also attracted a lot of praise from the netizens. Coincidentally, it was time for a group photo at the party. Xiang Wan had never participated in any photo shoots, and Xiangyi was nowhere to be found. The socialites were fighting for the center position, and they were all fighting each other. This kind of large-scale palace scheming scene, the audience watched with relish. However, the fans were worried. Where did Sister E go? Xiang Family Cemetery. The breeze blew the daisies on the ground, and the tea in the celadone cup rippled. Xiangyi had changed into casual clothes, a white sweater and black jeans, simple and clean. She poured her parents' favorite tea on the empty space in front of the grave. The surroundings were very quiet. Other than the occasional chirping of birds, there was no other sound. The girl's slender, white, and soft fingers brushed past the black and white photo on the tombstone. Dad, Mom, are you guys doing well in the sky? Xiangyi clearly knew that there was no such thing as a soul in the world she lived in. However, he stubbornly believed that people would become stars after they died. I miss you guys. A little. The girl's soft voice dissipated in the wind. Don't worry, it's only a little. Chapter 1031. The wind gently caressed the leaves, making a rustling sound as if it was responding gently. Xiangyi rubbed her sore eyes. The corners of her eyes were red, but she didn't shed a single tear. She remembered that every time she cried when she was young, her parents would be sad. Suddenly, a warm hand appeared on the top of her head, gently and slowly rubbing her hair. Xiangyi looked up and met her second brother, Xiang Li's gaze. Brother. Yes, I'm here. Xiang Li bent his knees and squatted down, keeping his distance from Xiangyi. His amber eyes were reflected behind his thin glasses. Do you want to cry? Those eyes were usually filled with data and formulas, but now there was only a gentle glow. When her brother came, Xiangyi felt her nose sting even more, but she still shook her head. Although I really want to, I can stop crying. Xiang Li was speechless for a moment. After a moment, he sighed helplessly. Our Tutu is a sensible child. But, Mom and Dad will probably support Tutu's occasional willfulness. For example, you can be like Auntie, rolling your eyes when you meet someone you don't like. You can also be like little uncle, crying when you want to and laughing when you want to. Xiangyi, oh. The little girl blinked, her eyes filled with tears. Xiangli thought for a moment and simply sat down beside her. He pointed at himself. Who am I? Xiangyi, you're my brother. Then who are you? I'm your sister. Not entirely. Xiangli corrected her. You're my sister, Mom and Dad's daughter, but you're also Xiangyi. Mom, Dad, and I all hope that you can live happily and live for your own happiness, okay? He also poured a cup of hot tea in the open space and whispered, if you want to cry, you can always lean on my shoulder. Xiangyi nodded. Her eyelashes trembled and stained with water. Not far away, a familiar voice suddenly sounded. Sister, where? Where? Why don't I see you? Hair, are you a blind monk? What kind of look is that? The bickering sounds came from Xiang Yu and Xiang Qi. Looking in the direction of the sound, the two of them were like small tails following behind a tall figure. Sanction. The three of them walked over in the blink of an eye. I knew you guys would be here. Humph, why didn't you bring me along to see your parents? Xiang Qi muttered and squeezed his butt next to Xiangyi. Xiang Yu was displeased. Third brother, look at how you're squeezing your sister. What do you know? Squeeze for warmth. Then I want to squeeze in too. The four of them huddled together. Then, they raised their heads and looked at Xiang Chen in unison. The great demon king was expressionless. He glanced at his brothers and sisters and complained in a low voice, childish. In the next second, he also sat down in the only space available. The gloominess and coldness were dispelled and replaced by warmth. It really does seem quite warm. Xiang Yi said in a low voice. It's just a little crowded. Luckily, little uncle and auntie aren't here. Suddenly, Xiang Feng sneakily poked his head out from behind a tree with a smug look on his face. You didn't expect us to be here too, did you? Xiang Wan, on the other hand, looked proud and arrogant. She crossed her arms and said, We didn't follow the little bunny here. Xiang Feng wanted to squeeze in, but Xiang Wan grabbed him by the collar. Please act like an elder. If I don't beat you up for an hour, you won't know that I'm skilled in both the pen and the sword, right? A second ago, she was scolding Xiang Feng. In the next second, Xiang Wan's tone changed into a spring breeze. Little Tutu, cry if you want. There are so many of us here, we'll all help you catch your tears. Chapter 1032. The corners of the Xiang brothers' mouths twitched. As soon as Auntie opened her mouth, it was as if she was an old couple. Xiang Feng, on the other hand, was confused. Why did she always pull his ear whenever she didn't like it? Little Xiangyi couldn't even bear to scold him, let alone pull his ear. Xiangyi laughed at Auntie's coaxing, and small dimples appeared on her cheeks. I won't cry any more. She had been holding it in before, but now she was sincere. Because she had the best family in the world. Seeing the little girl smile through her tears, Xiang Wan breathed a sigh of relief. She was almost about to perform the traditional act of violently beating up Xiang Feng to coax the little rabbit. Since you're here, you guys talk to Mom and Dad. I'll take Feng Feng to the orchard in front to see if the dates are ripe. Xiang Feng instinctively trembled. Sis, why don't you go alone? I also have a lot to say to Big Brother and Big Sister. Xiang Wan shot him a glare, and Xiang Feng immediately changed his words. 1,000 words, but they don't need to be said. Accompanying Big Sister is the most important thing. The silhouettes of the siblings gradually disappeared into the distance. The Xiang siblings were silent for a while. Xiang Yu took off his cap, revealing his handsome face. I'll go first. He took a deep breath, then slowly exhaled. He repeated it several times, then said in a low voice, Mom and Dad, when I was young, you always encouraged me when I played games. Now that I've made some achievements in esports, I'll work harder in the future. I'll also take good care of little sister. I swear in the name of Big Brother. With that, he turned his face away. His eyes were red under his thick eyelashes. Xiang Qi rubbed his head, messing up Xiang Yu's slightly long hair. The latter gave him a look of disdain. Xiang Qi stared at the photo on the tombstone. Next, it's my turn. When I used to play with the sewing machine and make clothes for little sister's doll, everyone said I was strange, sissy, and not like a man. Only you guys praised me as a genius. Actually, I was secretly happy for a long time. It was you guys who gave me the courage to do what I love. Leave little sister to me. Xiang Qi patted his chest. I'll make her little dresses for the rest of her life. Xiang Li chimed in from the side. Dad, Mom, I'm sorry for making you worry about my health when I was young. You were troubled by my inability to make friends. You were troubled by my studies. Now that I have some achievements in the medical field, I don't have to worry about food and clothing. You don't have to worry about me. I am a firm atheist, but I still believe that you have turned into stars and are still protecting us. Hearing this, Xiangyi felt a lump in her throat. She continued to pull weeds to cover up her loss of control. Songchen's speech was concise and powerful. I will protect my brothers and sisters for the rest of my life. Xiangyi couldn't hold it in any longer. Her tears fell onto the stone floor. Mom, Dad, I've encountered a lot of bad things in the past year. But I also met a very, very good person. I participated in a variety show, made new friends, and was lucky enough to have fans. Moreover, I also met someone I've liked for a long time. I'm glad that he likes me too. His name is Shi Sui. In the future, I will work hard to live a good life. I will also work hard to make Big Brother, Grandpa, Grandma, Little Uncle, and Auntie happy. Mom, Dad, you guys have to be happy in heaven too. I love you guys. The sun was warm, and the wind was gentle. The leaves and grass swayed with the wind, as if responding silently. Everything was very beautiful. Next introduction: the wedding. Chapter 1033. Sweetheart, let's go through the schedule. We'll do a magazine cover shoot with Shengdi at 10 in the morning. After that, we'll do an interview for about half an hour. After that, we'll record a short video for the New Year event. In the van, Nan chattered on and on, clutching the schedule tightly. His palms were sweaty. The beautiful Xiangyi said helplessly, Nan, why are you more nervous than me? Nan pulled a long face. Boo-hoo, sweetheart, you were too careless in the past. This is the first time you've taken on so many jobs. Besides, Mr. C isn't here today. I'm a little scared to work alone. As a small manager with no work experience, managing a popular artist like Xiangyi was too stressful. Xiangyi asked curiously, where did Mr. C go? Haven't the two of you always been inseparable? Nan replied, I think Auntie is sick. He went back home to visit her. Before he finished speaking, his phone buzzed. It was a message from Si Chuanbai. Have you eaten? I'm already at home. Nan quickly typed. Is Auntie okay? Do you want to bring her to Nanqing? The medical resources here are better. I can help you contact a doctor. Si Chuanbai. It's a lie. Madam Hong is fine. She just tricked me into coming back for a blind date. Nan. Then don't let Auntie down. Go shopping with Auntie and have afternoon tea with her friends. Give her some face. If you find someone suitable, hurry up and meet her. You can't be single forever. There was no reply for a long time. It wasn't until Nan accompanied Xiangyi into the dressing room that he received two strange messages from Mr. C. I didn't want to ask at first, although we've known each other for so long. But it's fine. Do you want me to go? Nan was baffled. Mr. C had always been a very opinionated person. He was highly efficient and made decisions swiftly and decisively. He was completely different from a procrastinator like him. Why would he come to ask for his opinion? Could it be that a ruthless work machine would be at a loss when faced with relationship problems? Nan pressed the voice button and said, Mr. C, I think you should muster up your courage and challenge yourself. I believe that with your qualifications, as long as your blind date isn't too weird, they will definitely be very satisfied with you. Mr. C, let's go. Oliver, give me. This time, Si Chuanbai replied with an ellipsis. Nan stared up and down, left and right for a long time, but he still couldn't figure out the meaning of the punctuation. He was a flunky who had poor reading comprehension since he was young. He was so worried that he scratched his head. There was only one question in his mind. Why was Mr. C like this? Good girl. Can you help me take a look at what Mr. C is trying to do? Sure. Xiangyi finished reading their conversation and felt sympathy for Si Chuanbai. What's wrong? Was there some kind of mystery behind it? Or is there a hidden meaning? Xiangyi reminded him tactfully, well, just take it literally. Nan stared at him again. All of a sudden, the fog in front of him seemed to have cleared up, revealing the moon. Nan was suddenly enlightened and slapped his thigh. I got it. Xiangyi's eyes lit up. She was ready to be a couple on the spot. However, she heard Nan say confidently, like Sherlock Holmes solving a case. That's a hidden sentence. The first part of Mr. C's sentence is "You're an idiot." That's too much. Chapter 1034. Xiangyi's cherry lips moved as if she wanted to say something but stopped. Have you ever thought that Mr. C actually has feelings for you? At this moment, someone knocked on the door. Teacher Xiang, I'm today's makeup artist. Is it convenient for you to come in now? It was inappropriate to talk about this topic in front of outsiders. Let's talk about it later. Please come in. The makeup artist pushed the door open and entered with a few assistants behind her. Teacher Xiang, feel free to communicate with me if you need anything. Everything we do is for today's shoot. As the makeup artist applied makeup on Xiangyi, Nan typed a few words angrily. Whatever. He admitted that he wasn't very smart and had let his family down by not being an outstanding doctor and inheriting his family's hospital. After falling out with his parents, he could only be a poor worker. But Mr. C was the person he respected and admired the most. How could he say that he was a fool? Sob, sob, sob. Si Chuanbai, who was thousands of miles away, said with an indifferent expression, If there's nothing else, I won't disturb you. His mother, Madame Hong, felt her scalp go numb. You child, how is going back to your own home a bother? Aren't you treating me like an outsider? I've said it before, I have someone I like. I've also said that no, Madame Hong's voice was shrill. That little hooligan with colorful hair? I won't allow it. I won't allow it. How can you like someone like that? How is he worthy of you? Si Chuanbai interrupted her. He has a name, Mu Nan. I fully understand how you feel, but I hope you can give him the respect he deserves. This was the first time her son, who had always been taciturn and respectful to her, had contradicted her for someone else. Madame Hong froze on the spot. After a long time, she asked in a trembling voice, Do you like him that much? Why? Si Chuanbai said, There's no reason for some things. Don't be angry, your blood pressure is going to rise soon. I'll go to the kitchen to boil some water for you. There was a water dispenser at home. How could Madame Hong not understand that he was looking for an excuse to avoid her? The bitterness in her heart gradually increased. Was she wrong? But she was doing it for her son's sake. In the kitchen, Si Chuanbai turned on the kettle and picked up his phone to send a few messages to Nan. When he saw Nan persuading him to go on a blind date, Si Chuanbai's heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. But when he saw the sentence, Do whatever you want. Si Chuanbai's heart felt like 10,000 fireworks had exploded. This coquettish tone, this hint of jealousy. Si Chuanbai's mind instantly went from, Does little colored feather like me? To, Little Kai Mao likes me. Si Chuanbai edited the message and deleted it for a long time. He didn't know what to reply. Wouldn't being together be too bold this time? Would it be too subtle to reply with, I'll listen to you? After struggling for a long time, Si Chuanbai decided to consult the person with the most experience in love. He dialed Shi Sui's number. In the dressing room, the makeup artist put on Shi Sui was very light. She only touched up the shape of her eyebrows, applied lip balm, and deepened the contours and lines of her face with powder. The man's expression was lazy and his tone was casual. You mean, Nan confessed to you? Are you sure? Si Chuanbai said with certainty, I'm 100% sure. Do you think I should propose to him with a diamond ring or add his name to my property deed first? Shi Sui said, I suggest you get a neurologist first. There's no charge for the following words. In addition to the wedding, the ending of the important characters will also be explained. There might also be a post-marriage chapter and a cute baby chapter. It shouldn't be too long. I'll go and sort out the follow-up first. That's all for today. Good night, from the Fat on One. Chapter 1035. After hanging up the phone, Shi Sui shook his head helplessly at his manager. His ability to imagine. It was such a pity that he didn't become a screenwriter. Buzz. His phone rang. The man lowered his eyes and saw the words, Little Bunny, on the screen. His peach blossom eyes beamed, making the legs of the makeup artist and several assistants go soft. He pressed the answer button, and Xiang Yi's warm and soft voice came from the Bluetooth headset. Is your makeup done? Soon. Shi Sui chuckled. Is Nan with you? He went outside. Is Mr. C okay? Are you sad? Shi Sui pondered for a moment and said, he probably even thought about how many tables to arrange for the wedding. I think he should be very happy. Xiang Yi was speechless. What? He's getting married. Xiang Yi said in disbelief. What's the difference between him and a scumbag? Now, Shi Sui was the one with a question mark above his head. He comforted her in a low voice. Don't worry, I'll look for you later. Shi Sui was done with his makeup and hair. He had changed into a light beige sweater with blue jeans and a pair of classic white shoes. It was a clean and refreshing outfit. When he appeared in Xiang Yi's dressing room, the staff members kept looking at him. It was a pure biological instinct that made one want to take a few more glances at a beauty. However, Shi Sui's gaze was fixed on Xiang Yi. The girl in front of the mirror was wearing a princess dress with puffy sleeves. Her hair was tied into a bun and there were a few strands of messy curly hair beside her ears. Her pure pomelo red was full of vitality and she looked very girly. Nan called out to everyone. Shi Sui and Sister Yi have prepared tea and snacks for everyone. Let's take a break first. The staff members left tactfully. Shi Sui walked to Xiang Yi. The tip of the girl's nose and chin were blushed, adding a touch of pitiful fragility. He suddenly wanted to bully his little bunny. He wanted to bully her until she cried. Very beautiful, Shi Sui said in a low voice, suppressing an inexplicable impatience. Xiang Yi, you're pretty too. Shi Sui chuckled. Tutu, why do I feel that you're being perfunctory? All right, let's get down to business first. Xiang Yi hurriedly checked the information with him and realized that both Si Chuanbai and Nan had made a mistake. Why don't I talk to Nan? Xiang Yi suggested. Hint. If I were to hint at it, the effect might not be that good. It's better to let the two of them talk about it face to face. That's true. Then we should let nature take its course. After all, Mr. C is so powerful. Yes. Both of them had confidence in Si Chuanbai. As a top manager, it shouldn't be a problem for him to confess, right? The filming officially began. The style of the first set is romantic and sweet. We need Teacher Shi and Teacher Xiang to act out the feelings of a passionate couple. Oh no, we'll just follow the way the two of you usually get along with each other. Just do it as you're comfortable. After the photographer stated his requirements, he was initially worried that the two of them wouldn't be able to achieve the feeling he wanted. Unexpectedly, in the next half an hour, he vividly experienced what it meant to show off their affection. Head touching, lifting, strawberry kissing, pressing down on the sofa and looking at each other. The photographer almost had tears in his eyes as he finished taking this set of photos. Shi Sui and Xiangyi went to change into their clothes for the next day. The new assistant asked foolishly, "How does it feel to be an untimely couple?" I'm full. Chapter 1036. On the same day, the magazine's official Weibo account released a set of behind-the-scenes photos from the shoot. Although it wasn't as shocking as the photos, the excited fans still pushed the post to the top of the trending list. The first 3 photos were of the romantic and sweet style of the first set, which had tormented countless single people. The middle 3 photos were of the dark and cool style, in which Shi Sui and Xiangyi were like walking clothes hangers, exuding an extraordinary sense of fashion in their branded clothes. The most surprising and the one that made the fans go crazy was the last set of photos. Xiangyi usually gave people the impression of a gentle and cute national girl, and the clothes she wore were mainly light-colored. However, in this set of photos, the girl was wearing a long black dress, which was a rare sight. Her eyeliner was slightly elongated, and her lips were a bright red color. On the retro and gorgeous sofa, Xiangyi was crossing her long legs. The red soles of her black suede high heels were exposed, which was seductive and soul-stirring. Shi Sui was also different from his usual calm and abstinent self. His white satin shirt was exquisite, but the collar was torn open, revealing the black choker necklace on his collarbone, which made his skin look even fairer and his Adam's apple look even smoother and clearer. He was sitting on the wool carpet, looking clean and delicate. His hair was styled into disposable curls, and he looked like a little prince who had been sent to a foreign country as a hostage. This set of photos of Queen X's little prince instantly went viral on various social media platforms. I want to see this. I'll definitely buy this issue of the magazine. Xiangyi's lips are simply the color of a queen's coronation. Her aura is so strong. I've already been subdued by this beautiful girl's dress. Shi Sui is such a contrast. No wonder he's a monster who won the Best Actor award. He doesn't feel out of place at all when he acts as a little puppy. I feel like locking him in a small dark room. I'm so perverted. You're not alone in the small dark room. I've already prepared a dog head for him in my basement. I'm the director of Nanqing Mental Hospital. Hello to you guys. Ha 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 ha, I'm going to die of laughter in the comment section sooner or later. Shi Sui and Xiangyi were both trending topics. Just the cover of the photos had already made it to several trending topics. However, the two of them didn't make it to the top of the trending topics this time, as the top spot was occupied by little Uncle Xiang Feng. Hashtag Xiang Feng official announcement. Hashtag the netizens saw a few words. After clicking it, they saw a Weibo post that Xiang Feng's Xiang Feng, I'm. The accompanying picture was a bright red marriage certificate cover. It was very festive. Thanks to Xiao Po's strong influence, Xiang Feng's current popularity was no less than a second-tier celebrity. Plus, he's of stars of suvs. The whole internet was gossiping. Who is little Ant? After the interview and video of the interview of the photos is of the little GPS location. Xiang s of our little uncle and sister song so efficient? Shi Sui, who was beside her, glanced at it and raised her eyebrows. Should we call her little Ant then? In the villa under Xiang Feng's name. In the living room, Song Qiuqiu was holding a cup of hot tea as he looked at Xiang Feng, who was humming a song in the kitchen while cooking. We, the people, are so happy tonight, he. We, the people, are so happy tonight, ha. Although they did register their marriage, weren't they, in a fake marriage? Why did it feel like Xiang Feng was happier than if they were really married? Was he a fan of the atmosphere? Chapter 1037. When Song Qiuqiu finished her 6th cup of tea, Xiang Feng finally came out of the kitchen with a few plates of dishes. Or perhaps they could be called dishes. Song, this is the food I made for you. Although it's a little ugly, I tasted it just now. You won't die from eating it. Xiang Feng looked at Song Qiuqiu eagerly. Song Qiuqiu, What kind of dark cuisine was this? She reluctantly picked up a piece with her chopsticks, but the taste that hit the depths of her soul instantly froze her in place. Xiang Feng was elated. Look, I told you you won't die. The next second, Song Qiuqiu ran to the bathroom and vomited. Song. After a long time, Song Qiuqiu finally recovered and lay weakly on the sofa. Xiang Feng anxiously guarded her. I'm sorry, I saw that little Xiangyi's cooking was quite simple, so I wanted to make you a meal myself. It's okay. Song Qiuqiu was so weak that she almost died from that mouthful of food. Let's discuss something. Don't come into the kitchen in the future, okay? That won't do. Song Qiuqiu. I believe that as long as I practice diligently, one day, I'll be able to make delicious food. Song Qiuqiu was about to cry. Then you should eat more. In Xiang Feng's eyes, Song Qiuqiu was looking at him with affectionate eyes, teary eyes, and secretly flirting with him. He felt like a deer in his heart had a concussion as he said affectionately, I understand your intentions, I understand all of them. Song Qiuqiu. What the hell do you know? She took a deep breath and tried to sit up so that the conversation between the two of them could be more formal. Xiang Feng, we're in a fake marriage. I know. I've signed the premarital property notarization, the fake marriage contract, the 100 clauses of the cohabitation contract, and the divorce contract after 2 years. I've signed all of them. Quick, think if there's anything I missed. Song Qiuqiu hesitated for a moment and asked, Why aren't you angry about signing these? The two of them were childhood sweethearts. Outsiders had only seen her beautiful, sweet, and decent appearance. Only Xiang Feng had seen her when her teeth were falling out, when she hadn't washed her hair for 3 days, and when she had been constipated for so long that she had blocked the toilet bowl. She suggested a fake marriage because she had no other choice. She hadn't expected Xiang Feng to agree so readily. She was paranoid, so she made Xiang Feng sign a lot of documents. If it were another man, he would probably be angry, right? But Xiang Feng always granted her every request, without a word of complaint. Xiang Feng scratched his head. What's there to be angry about? You don't feel safe, so as a man, I should give it to you. To protect my own interests, I think this is what I should do. What's more, you're nothing. I'm already used to being bullied by my elder sister and my eldest, second, third, and youngest nephews. Song Qiuqiu was so touched that she held back her tears. Then you don't have to deliberately put on an act and act so happily. You even posted something on Weibo. When we get divorced in the future, you'll have to delete it. I didn't put on an act. I posted it on Weibo because I wanted to. Xiang Feng chuckled. When I think about how I'll be able to see you every day for 2 years, I'm especially happy. I'm with the person I like, even if it's a fake marriage, I'm really happy. Song Qiuqiu was dumbfounded. You like me? Xiang Feng was also dumbfounded. You don't know. At the same time, a large number of anti-fans appeared under Shi Sui's Weibo. Chapter 1038. Shi Sui, Uncle Xiang is already married. What about you? Shi Sui, Brother Tinu's neighbor's mother-in-law's nephew's cousin is already married. What about you? Shi Sui, are you impotent? Shi Sui, you're impotent. After clicking on the accounts of those anti-fans, they would discover an interesting phenomenon. They were all fans of Shi Sui's sister, who was also Shi Sui's fan. Countless netizens came to watch the show, and they were simply laughing their heads off in the comment section. Shi Sui's sister was definitely the most anti-fan in the industry. 1 fan is better than 10 anti-fans. Indeed, it's true. At the same time, the fans of the couple were also worried sick. Is untimely couple getting married today? No. As long as they don't get married, they're still 1 step away from attaining a positive outcome. Hence, in the comment section, it was like a large-scale wedding urging. I'm from the Civil Affairs Bureau, I came here myself. I'm willing to be a vegetarian for the rest of my life. I just hope that untimely couple will get married on the spot. He's asking for a marriage proposal with his own blood. It'd be best if the wedding is broadcasted live. However, regardless of whether it was urging them to get married, criticizing them, or making fun of them, they all ended up in the same place. They vividly demonstrated that humans were essentially repeaters. Shi Sui is impotent. After the popularity of #SiangYi's official announcement hashtag, those familiar words made it to the top of the hot search list again. When Si Chuanbai, who was in his hometown, saw the hot search list, the corners of his mouth twitched. Not only did he not bother to do public relations, he even sent Shi Sui a voice message. You've seen the hot search list, haven't you? Why don't you save the money you earn from removing the hot search list and buy some nourishing ingredients and herbs for you? In response, Shi Sui replied with a smiley emoji. Even Xiangyi, who was in the bathroom, received a call from Xiangyi's grandfather. Little Tutu, don't air your dirty laundry in public. Shi Sui isn't feeling well and you can't treat him. Tell Grandpa. Xiangyi felt as if she had fallen into the clouds. Ah! How is he feeling unwell? He's clearly very healthy. I get it. He's hiding it from you, right? The Prime Minister's tone was pained. Don't worry, Grandpa isn't such an unenlightened person. I'll find a nationally renowned andrologist for a consultation. I'll definitely cure Sui's illness. Xiangyi. She seemed to have thought of something and hurriedly took a look at the hot search list. She explained for a long time, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Only then did Xiangyi reluctantly believe that Shi Sui's impotence was just a joke made by netizens. After hanging up the phone, Xiangyi was about to change her clothes when a pair of large hands wrapped around her slender waist. The man rubbed his chin against her shoulder. What happened? Xiangyi's ears turned red. I want to take a shower. I know. These words made Xiangyi's face burn. She changed the topic. Well, Grandpa called me. The young girl roughly summarized the matter of Xiangyin's misunderstanding and asked, Isn't it funny? After all, Grandpa doesn't surf the internet often. Shi Sui fiddled with her soft hair, and his handsome face was glazed by the lights in the bathroom, making him look like a refined scum. Is it funny? Of course. Before she could finish her sentence, her lips were slightly warm. Xiangyi was stunned for a few seconds. Don't you think it's funny? It was another warm kiss. Xiangyi didn't know what was going on. It's just very funny. This time, she was carried to the sink where her back was pressed against the mirror. Xiangyi finally realized the danger. The man was smiling and she could feel his breath on her face. Don't you know best whether I can do it or not? Huh? He enunciated each word clearly and raised his voice at the end. Little rabbit. Chapter 1039. The next day. By the time Xiangyi woke up, it was already past 10 in the morning. She rubbed her eyes sleepily, turned over lazily, and saw Shi Sui by the window. The man was flipping through a stack of scripts, and there was a cup of hot coffee beside his hand, which was still steaming. His white shirt was buttoned up to the top, and he looked refined and restrained. Little did she know that under the white shirt was the mark she had left on his slender neck last night. Thinking of some absurd and messy memories, Xiangyi raised her hand and pulled the quilt up, trying to cover her head. Shi Sui's deep and magnetic voice sounded in the bedroom. Tutu, you're awake? Do you want to eat breakfast? Xiangyi instinctively said, I'm not awake. Xiangyi covered her face with the blanket in embarrassment. What kind of behavior was this? It was too embarrassing. The room was silent for a few seconds. The man walked to the bed and tucked her in. He smiled and said, Then sleep for a while more, okay, baby? After a while, the girl's muffled voice came from under the blanket. Don't call me baby. Then what do you like me to call you? Were you satisfied with the way I called you last night? Xiangyi recalled his hoarse voice last night, his soft moans mixed with desire. His whole body was like a piece of fried glutinous rice that was charred on the outside and tender on the inside, making sizzling sounds. I am asleep. The behavior of deceiving oneself x2. Sure Sui pulled the blanket down a little so that the little bunny could breathe smoothly. He kissed the girl's delicate eyebrows gently. Go to sleep, baby. We'll set off when you wake up. On the internet. When the netizens woke up, they realized that the trending topic had finally changed from hashtag Sure Sui can't hashtag to a new topic. Hashtag honeymoon variety show. Hashtag oh wow, which artiste in the industry is going on a honeymoon? Everyone clicked on it. Ali Genu V. After several months of preparation, the newly planned travel episode of Two Under One Roof is about to start recording. This time, it will be in the form of a short love documentary. The guests will still be Sure Sui Xiongyi. Beep beep beep, we're setting off now, rabbit plane what the hell? Did Xiongyi and Sure Sui finally have a new variety show? In the comment section, the fans were already crying tears of joy. Official dog abuse is the deadliest. Sisters. Rounding it off, this is the honeymoon variety show. We must support the honeymoon trip of the two newlyweds. Son, tell me which website you posted the video on. I'm going to become a member. Director Lee is best at beautiful and sweet styles. Director Youthful Heart plus top popularity plus stunning beauty. This is simply the strongest idol drama team in the country. How can I deserve this? Woo woo. Half a month later, the first episode of the travel episode of Two Under One Roof was released on Xingchen Video. Before the broadcast, some netizens were pessimistic, saying that Li Jianyu, Sure Sui, and Xiongyi were too eager to make use of Two Under One Roof to make money and were treating their fans like sheep. However, the day the video was released, it gave everyone a slap in the face. This time, there was no need to become a member of the variety show. It was free to stream. The entire internet was in an uproar. The netizens who were pessimistic were dumbfounded. What's going on? Is this a charity? However, after clicking on the video, everyone realized that it was indeed a short documentary. Each episode was only about half an hour long, which was much shorter than the duration of a typical variety show. Hence, something that made countless variety show directors in the industry jealous happened. A large number of netizens protested, "Please become a member. Please increase the duration." Chapter 1040. There were also many people who directly went to the online customer service of Xingchen Video and asked frowny face, "Why don't I need a membership for the travel series? Hurry up and arrange it. I want to get an annual membership first." Customer service. Hello, dear. We've learned that each episode of the short documentary this time is rather short, so we've decided to stream it for free. Netizens. Dear, do you think I'm short of money for membership? Please hurry up and upload the exclusive premium long version of the video. Customer service. Customer service. Okay, dear. Your request has been recorded. I'll give you feedback in a timely manner. Please give me a star for my service. At first, there were still some people who wondered if it was some sort of publicity stunt. For example, membership was not required for the first episode, but for the second episode, membership was required. For the third episode, advanced streaming was required, and for the fourth episode, membership was required plus advanced streaming plus a single episode fee. But soon, everyone's attention was drawn back to the content of the short documentary. Although the duration was short, the quality was online and the images were in high definition, comparable to professional documentaries. In the first episode, Xiongyi and Sure Sui went to F City, the fashion capital. There were two main storylines used in the filming. One was that the two of them went to visit a tourist attraction, while the other was 3 meals a day. When Xiongyi began to cook her first Western meal, the real-time pop-up comments were all astonished. Wow, Sistery knows how to cook Western food. I thought Xiongyi only knew how to cook Chinese food. I didn't expect her to be so good at Western food too. I'm impressed. Truffles, snails, caviar, lobster steak, foie gras. Travel expenses are nothing. This is a real budget explosion. In the video, Xiongyi was wearing the cute little apron that Xiong Qi had sewn for her. Every dish she cooked was smooth and pleasing to the eye. Western food had extremely high requirements for the chef's sense of sight, smell, taste, touch, and sympathetic nerves, and Xiangyi happened to be a genius in this aspect. Under the high-definition camera, the ingredients were extremely tempting, regardless of whether they were fried or stewed. The final product was juicy and full of flavor, paired with exquisite desserts and suitable grape wine. Just looking at it was a pleasure. Xiangyi's explanation of how to do it was added later. The editor used double speed and added a long string of flowery words. Welcome to, you definitely won't know how to cook it after watching it. Even if you know how to cook it, you don't have the ingredients. Even if you have the ingredients, it doesn't necessarily look good. If it doesn't look good, it will become a dark cuisine. This program is provided by What Are We Doing Then? I am the host, Zhen, and my partner, Yi, and special guest, Nie, and our good friends, Kan and Shui. Thank you to I Don't Know, What Can You Do, for their strong support of this program. Remember our slogan, I'm handicapped, I'm proud, I'm saving materials for the country. This segment instantly became the highlight of the variety show, poking at the laughing points of countless netizens, and was made into a short video that was widely circulated. Many years later, it was still a textbook existence for variety shows. This is a story for later, so let's not talk about it for now. In addition to Xiangyi's Western food that amazed everyone, the two of them also had a series of similar designs that went viral. Shui and Xiangyi were wearing a series of handmade, custom-made couple outfits that were designed by Xiangqi and completed with the help of his studio. The price was not cheap, but the stock in the physical stores, official websites, and online stores were all sold out in less than an hour after the program was broadcast. In addition, sports shoes, belts, bags, kitchen utensils, and other similar designs all became popular worldwide. Chapter 1041. On this day, the public once again witnessed Shui and Xiangyi's ability to promote products. It was simply terrifying. Some netizens also noticed that the clothes, shoes, bags, and daily necessities of the two were basically all made in China, except for those designed by Hades. Initially, everyone thought that since Xiangyi had promoted products for many local brands before, those brands should have sponsored Two Under One Roof. However, the local brands soon released statements one after another. Thank you Shui Xiangyi for promoting our local brand of mint toothpaste for free. It's not easy to make a local product, and we'll remember the warmth of today's event. We're donating 1 million yuan to charity, and hope that this warmth can be passed on. Congratulations to the travel segment of Two Under One Roof. At the same time, thank you Shui Xiangyi for supporting our sunscreen umbrellas. Now, our sunscreen umbrellas are not only made in China, they're created by China. Thank you for letting more people know about our sunscreen umbrellas. Today, we're donating 990,000 yuan to charity, and we hope that your love will last forever. Thank you Shui Xiangyi for advertising how Jiajia's kitchenware on the show. Thank you. The words of gratitude and donations converged into a torrent of public opinion. The impact of negative impressions was profound. Xiangyi had once been criticized by the entire internet, but now, everyone was tearing down her label one by one. The most eye-catching thing was the interaction between Shui and Xiangyi. The way the two of them got along with each other was not spectacular. On the contrary, it could be described as plain and ordinary. However, before going out, Shui would check the weather in F-City and specially bring a sunscreen umbrella and an umbrella for Xiangyi. When Xiangyi cooked, she would also seriously consider Shui's taste and would cook Shui's favorite foods and flavors for every meal. When the two of them went shopping, Shui would take the initiative to carry their bags, and Xiangyi would also feed him drinks. There would also be many small surprises. For example, when they were rowing, Shui magically pulled out a small bouquet of flowers from behind her back. Another example was when they went to the haunted house at the theme park and Xiangyi gave him a rabbit doll that she sewed herself. In short, it was all in one word. In just one episode, the amount of dog food and the sweetness of the sugar sprinkled made the majority of netizens sigh with emotion. The best love, Shui, Xiangyi. The untimely couple fans even expressed with tears in their eyes that they could die without regrets. However, at the end of the first issue, there was a suspense. The editing used the form of switching back and forth. Xiangyi angrily threw the spoon away. Whoever made it will make it. Anyway, I can't cook. Shi Sui pushed up her glasses coldly. I've never liked anyone. Please don't flatter yourself. The audience. Where? Was this what the production team was doing? Even web authors aren't as slow as you guys. Why was Little Sweet Biscuit being abused? The netizens flocked to Li Jianyu's Weibo and flooded his comment section with friendly greetings. Li Jianyu replied, "The next episode will be at 2000 hours next Saturday night. Be there or be square, dog head." The netizens, At the same time, Xiangyi and Shi Sui had just finished filming the 4th episode when they happened to run into Fu Jiayan, who was filming nearby, as well as Jiang Jojo, who was holding Fu Jiayan's arm and blushing slightly. "Ahem, long time no see, Fu Jiayan smiled foolishly and said, "I've been with her for so long and I didn't expect the two of us to become a couple. This must be fate." Xiangyi and Shi Sui looked at each other and smiled. Chapter 1042. After chatting for a while, the topic naturally turned to the official announcement. Fu Jiayan said, "I definitely have to make an official announcement. Now, as long as Jojo agrees, I'll post it on Weibo immediately." He was an actor, not an idol, so the impact of the official announcement would be relatively small. However, there would definitely be an impact. After all, although he was famous for being a silly comedian, he still had some female fans. Shi Sui asked, "What did your management company say?" Fu Jiayan said miserably, "They're pressuring me and it's hard for me to resist now. At most, I'll just go all out." Jiang Jojo looked down and said, "It's okay with me, your career is more important." "Jojo, I'm sorry, I'm not capable enough." "Okay, it's not a secret marriage anyway. Besides, it's quite exciting to be in a relationship secretly. I swear, I'll make it up to you in the future. You must have what other kids have." Seeing that the two of them were acting out a bitter drama with reddened eyes, Xiangyi put a hand on her forehead and reminded them. Did you guys forget something very important? If I remember correctly, Fu Jiayan mentioned previously that his contract with the management company is about to expire." "Yes," Fu Jiayan said with a dumbfounded expression, "but I'm not very popular now and no management company has come to poach me. Those who have come to me have harsher conditions than this one. They'll ban me immediately if I'm in a relationship." Shi Sui couldn't help but laugh and look at Xiangyi. Xiangyi also pointed at herself. Fu Jiayan asked foolishly, "Sister E, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? Why are you blinking at me so many times?" Jiang Jojo asked worriedly, "E, are you sick? They say that doctors don't treat themselves. Why don't I take you to the hospital for a checkup? Nothing is more important than your health." Xiangyi said, "I just want to remind you that I, Xiangyi, am the CEO of Tomato Entertainment." Fu Jiayan and Jiang Jojo were stunned and had yet to react. Xiangyi sighed helplessly and said, "Yes, Fu Jiayan, it means that you can call me boss." Fu Jiayan was speechless. "Huh. That's right, that's right. I can sign with Sister Yi's company and work for you." Jiang Jojo also reacted and exclaimed, "E, I want to be your sister for the rest of my life." After settling the contract issue, Xiangyi started to think. Could it be that falling in love would really cause one's IQ to drop? She hurriedly went online and found a set of college entrance examination math questions that were said to be the most difficult in the country. 148 points. The girl muttered in a low voice, Good, he's not too stupid." After all, second brother always got full marks. Fu Jiayan and Jiang Jojo were speechless. Are we too bad at studying? Why can't I even understand the questions? Shi Sui came in with afternoon tea. Seeing the little girl writing and drawing with a tablet and pencil, she came over curiously and asked, "What are you playing?" Xiangyi said casually, "Do you want to give it a try?" Fu Jian quickly stopped him. Don't. This question is too difficult. After all, Shuringdi has never been to university. Jiang Jojo elbowed him and said, he just didn't go to university. He was the top scorer in science for the college entrance examination, okay? Fu Jian muttered, Shuringdi has been away from the college entrance examination for more than 10 years. He must have long forgotten all his high school knowledge. She thinks I'm lousy? She thinks I'm old? Shui smiled and said, shall I give it a try? Xiangyi pushed the tablet to him. Half an hour later, Xiangyi changed the score of the answers. How many points? Jiang Jojo leaned over and exclaimed, wow, 150 points. Fu Jian was flabbergasted. It turns out that I'm the clown. Chapter 1043. Maybe it's because this set of papers is relatively easy, Shui said in a warm voice. Fu Jian struggled and said, yes, it might be the capital questions. Jiang Jojo's words shattered his hopes. Wake up, this is the Suching questions, one of the most difficult math papers in the country. Fu Jian was speechless. Good, I can die with a smile. Smiley face. 3 days later, Fu Jian officially terminated his contract with his agency and signed a contract with Tomato Entertainment on the same day. Tomato Entertainment. Welcome actor Fu Jian to join our family. The artistes under Tomato Entertainment congratulated him one after another. SA7 Zhang Chen. Hello, Brother Fu. Lin Jia. Hello, Brother Fu. Molly. Nice to meet you in the future. The most eye-catching thing was, Rong Huai. Welcome. Rong Huai. Is that Rong Huai who once appeared on The Small Cut? Everyone clicked on Rong Huai's identity verification and was shocked. Tomato Entertainment has signed a contract with Tomato Entertainment, a freshman at the Capital Film Academy. Little Wolf Cub is impressive. He actually got admitted to the Capital Film Academy? The netizens who had seen The Small Cut still remembered the promise between Rong Huai and Xiangyi. After Rong Huai was admitted to the Capital Film Academy, Xiangyi signed him to Tomato Entertainment. All of a sudden, it made people sigh with emotion. Sob, 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 this is so inspirational. Rong Huai really did it. Sister E has also signed him according to the agreement. I can't take it anymore, the after effects of The Small Cut are too great. I still feel like crying when I think about it. However, there were also people who raised doubts and even went to Xiangyi's Weibo to question her. Are you there? The college entrance examination hasn't started yet and Rong Huai is already a freshman? What a joke. It's understandable that you want to make money by signing artistes, but it's disgusting to fake it like you. I'm also an art student who applied for the Capital Film Academy this year. I can clearly tell everyone that the enrollment process hasn't started yet. How can Rong Huai be admitted? Xiangyi, I had a good impression of you at first, but you indulged your artistes in lying and even falsified certification information to mislead your fans. If you can't be a bad boss, don't be a dog in the manger. Xiang Yi, who was overseas, didn't see these comments because of the time difference. However, Rong Huai could not hold it in any longer. He was young, frivolous, and hot-blooded. He directly posted on Weibo to criticize the netizens. Rong Huai v. You can scold me, but don't scold my sister, okay? His words instantly made Rong Huai the target of public criticism. A ready-made target attracted a lot of firepower. By the time Xiangyi woke up and found out about this, the number of comments on Rong Huai's Weibo had already exceeded 100,000. After learning the whole story, Xiangyi sighed softly. It was something that could be explained in one sentence, but Rong Huai was stubborn and did not explain himself. Instead, he exchanged dozens of rounds with the haters. Of course, the young man's trash-talking skills were quite high. Netizens who were watching the show joked that his words were at the level of Smog's, "Your parents have gone to heaven. You don't have a mother, do you? Greetings are meant for people. Are you worthy? Be good, little kid. Return the phone to your family." Netizens made an emoticon pack and spread it widely. The last comment was made 2 minutes ago. Xiangyi sent him a WeChat message. The next second, the following notification appeared on Weibo. Rong Hui V deleted a Weibo post. Rong Hui V deleted a... The netizens were dumbfounded. Are the staff members in charge of his Weibo account? The haters mocked. Is the grandson scared? In the next second, Rong Hui V, Xiangyi sister, they're fierce to me. The haters were dumbfounded. Chapter 1044. The netizens were about to die of laughter. What kind of little wolf dog turned into a cute little puppy in an instant? However, they felt like they had finally found someone to back them up. Xiangyi left an ellipsis and Rong Hui immediately replied, frowny face sister, I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have argued. Even if others scold me, I shouldn't have retorted. Also, I'm not angry because they scolded me. I'm angry because they scolded you. They scolded you so harshly. The netizens, huh? This familiar fragrance. They felt that as long as they had interacted with Shi Sui, they would more or less melt into her. What should I do? I've been poked by the wolf cub's younger brother. He's complaining so aggrievedly. He's so adorable. Let's be honest. Although it's nice to have a close sibling relationship, they can't just blindly defend each other. Rong Hui was the one who cheated in the first place. Warning. Don't forget that Sister E is a magical girl with a 100% chance of slapping others in the face. Her words came true. A few minutes later, Xiangyi updated her Weibo and explained the origin of Rong Hui's Weibo account. Xiangyi, as far as I know, Capital City Film Academy has a small number of special admission slots in addition to the nationwide enrollment every year. The requirements are extremely high, and one has to go through layers of selection and interviews before being admitted in advance. The young girl's words were concise and comprehensive, but they hit the nail on the head and instantly resolved the debate among the netizens. At first, some people didn't believe it, but soon, some netizens found out about Capital City Film Academy's early admission criteria. Be it appearance, physique, specialty, professional standards, etc., it was even stricter than the unified enrollment. In other words, it was just like the selection for the gifted junior class, where outstanding students were selected in advance. It sounded unfair, but how many people could reach such a stringent standard? The fact that Rong Hui could be admitted in advance was enough to prove his excellence. Later on, Capital City Film Academy's official Weibo account also came out to respond and released the list of the early admissions this year. There were only a few people in total. There were genius directors, dubbers, and 2 actors with top-notch looks and acting skills. Everyone's qualifications were beyond doubt. At this point, no one doubted that Rong Hui was lying. Some netizens even spontaneously apologized to him. Rong Hui didn't care about the slander or praise from the outside world. He only cared about only his elder sister. He stared at the phone screen, afraid that he would receive a message from Xiangyi, but he was even more afraid that he would not receive a message from Xiangyi. Ding ding ding. A video call invitation appeared. He held his breath, his fingers trembling slightly, and pressed the accept button. A young girl wearing a floral dress and a straw hat appeared on the screen. Xiangyi waved at him and teased, Rong Hui, you've become famous overnight, haven't you? Rong Hui was obviously a little nervous, and his entire body was stiff. Even when he spoke, he sounded like a robot. I'm sorry, I've caused you trouble. I understand your feelings. If someone scolded my friend, I would also be angry, but... Xiangyi changed the topic and advised, it's best not to be so impulsive in the future. You have to believe that adults can solve many problems, okay? Rong Hui pursed his thin lips and looked down without looking up. He really wanted to say, I don't think of you as a friend, I think of you as... Who are you talking to? Rong Hui. A moment later, half of Shi Sui's face appeared on the screen and she nodded slightly at him. He hugged Xiangyi's slender waist. It was a possessive action. Chapter 1045. Rong Hui looked up and stared at the screen for a few seconds before lowering his head again. No one could see the light in his eyes dimming bit by bit. Actually, the distance between them had always been very far. It was just his wishful thinking that as long as he worked hard, he could get closer. Even if it was just a little bit. Unfortunately, it was all in vain. He hated that he was only 17 years old and hated that he met Xiangyi too late. Rong Hui, I heard that you're going for special training soon? You have to work hard and control your temper. Also, there should be a lot of scripts for you in the near future. I think you should focus on your studies. You can take on some dramas that don't have many scenes but have a good cast to hone your skills. The girl's voice was soft, and she was really like a gentle and considerate sister as she instructed Rong Hui in detail. Rong Hui did not speak for a long time and only said one word in a low and muffled voice. Okay. As long as it was what she wanted him to be, he would grow up. Xiangyi seemed to have sensed his subtle thoughts and whispered a few words to She Sui. The man seemed to be dissatisfied and narrowed his eyes slightly. His gaze was deep and dangerous as he sized up Rong Hui on the screen. It was unknown what Xiangyi said to him, but She Sui left. Before leaving, he even kissed Xiangyi's smooth and fair forehead. It was as if he was declaring his sovereignty. Xiangyi helplessly chided, "Childish." Those two words instantly caused Rong Hui's world to be in chaos. No matter what, Xiangyi would never say that to him in such a tone. Even an outstanding, mature, steady, and successful man like She Sui would occasionally find him childish, let alone him. Rong Hui was extremely dejected and listless, unable to cheer up. Until Xiangyi's gentle voice fell into his ears. "Rong Hui, there's someone I like." She did not ask if he liked her, nor did she say that she did not like him. She was gentle, polite, and good-looking. Yet, she kept him at arm's length. Rong Hui said hoarsely, "I know. Xiangyi, I want to share my view of love with you. It may not be correct, and it may not be suitable for you. Just listen to it as a reference. Before you like someone, you have to like yourself first. No one is more important than yourself. For the person I love, I can give, I can sacrifice, I can give everything I have, but there is one thing. You don't live for TA, you live for yourself." The video call ended. It had been a long time. Rong Hui replayed the conversation over and over again. He secretly turned on the screen recording function of his cell phone. Like a traveler in the desert, he would greedily drink even a drop of water when he saw it. Every sentence was the most gentle, but also the most cruel. God knows how many times it was played on a loop. Rong Hui pressed the pause button. F***CK. Don't flatter yourself, I don't like you. A moment later, his eyelashes trembled non-stop. His voice was hoarse and he sounded like he was about to cry. "I don't like you that much." The young man fidgeted with his hair and punched the sandbag. The heavy sandbag was knocked away and bounced back. He punched the sandbag again and again. Not only was he venting, but he was also suppressing himself. After he was exhausted, the young man half knelt on the ground, breathing heavily. Patter. There were water stains on the floor. "I like you. But that's all I like." He seemed to have convinced himself. "I can do it, right?" In the empty room, no one answered. It was as if the young man's worries had finally been buried. Chapter 1046. At the beach. Xiangyi pressed down on the brim of her straw hat and found She Sui. The man was building an excavator? Was it a man's nature to play with sand and excavators? Xiangyi praised, "Wow, so cute." She Sui looked up, his peach blossom eyes smiling gently behind his glasses. "Do you want to play?" "Yes." Then, Xiangyi watched as She Sui pushed the excavator over. Xiangyi was speechless. The man looked at her with a faint smile and did not say a word. But there were 4 words written on his handsome face. "I'm not letting you play." Bunny couldn't help but tremble. "I'm just teaching him how to love someone properly. Besides, I think I'm overthinking. Maybe he just likes chicks and doesn't like you at all. No, the way he looks at you is the way a boy looks at a girl, Shui said firmly. Xiangyi blinked and hooked her fair arm around Shui's neck. Then what's the way you look at me? At this moment, there was a crazy cough from the side. Ahem. Of course it's the way a man looks at a girl. Xiangyi's face burned instantly. She let go of Shui at lightning speed and widened her eyes when she saw the large group of staff around them. Li Jianyu was about to pass out from trying to hold back his laughter. Sister Yi, I told you last night that we're going to the beach today to record a scene. Xiangyi pretended to be calm. Okay, let's start then. Okay, everyone get ready and start recording. But the two of you have to be careful. Otherwise, you won't pass the audition. Even if you pass, I'm afraid the fans won't be able to take it. Xiangyi was expressionless as she sprayed the sunscreen spray. Unfortunately, it couldn't cover the redness from her ears to her neck. Shui reached out his arm. Tutu, I want some too. Xiangyi stared at him. Xiangyi looked away. Epsilon, I'm not going to spray for you. The overseas recording was in full swing, and Xingchen Video released the second and third episodes one after another. In the second episode, Shui and Xiangyi went to the snow mountain in D-City. The girls made sushi, tamakoyaki, and homemade hot pot. They ate at the top of the snow mountain with Shui and enjoyed the scenery, which made the tourists jealous. Netizens also expressed that if they met Shui or Xiangyi during their travels, they would definitely shout, "Sister E, don't be ungrateful. Don't force me to kneel down and beg you to give me a bite to eat." In the third episode, Shui and Xiangyi went to the Devil's Valley, in Milta. Many elite rock climbers from all over the world gathered here. According to the program team's arrangement, the two of them could experience rock climbing once. For the safety of the two, the production team had carefully prepared seatbelts, descenders, helmets, iron chains, and ropes. Shui tried it first. The man was tall and slender, and his movements were agile. An extreme sport like rock climbing seemed to be a piece of cake for him, and he could climb more than 10 meters in minutes. Li Jianyu asked, "Is Sister E wearing her equipment?" "Huh? Where's Sister E?" Someone exclaimed. "Sister E isn't wearing any armor. She's climbing with her bare hands." The scene was in chaos. The audience could feel the camera shaking, and their hearts were in their mouths. Fortunately, it didn't take long for the camera to return to normal, and everyone could clearly see Xiangyi climbing. Oh, no, is this rock climbing? Why is she climbing so fast with her bare hands? Even the monkeys in Devil's Valley can't climb as fast as her. The girl climbed to the top and stood at the top of the mountain, asking in confusion, "Why aren't you guys up yet?" Ah, look at the muscular lines on his forearms, the hem of his shirt fluttering in the wind, that inverted triangular figure, he's so boyish. A moment later, Shui climbed to the top of the mountain and stood side by side with Xiangyi. The camera they were wearing didn't have high resolution, and the blue light was blurry. However, Shui's smile was still very attractive. Slow. The audience. A car, it's a car. Xiangyi was completely unaware of the approaching danger. "It's all right. Just all right?" Shui asked with an ambiguous meaning. Xiangyi thought he was asking about the climbing speed, so she said frankly, "It's all right, my big brother is better than you. His climbing speed with his bare hands is twice as fast as yours just now." Shui sneered. The girl looked down curiously. "Why aren't they here yet?" The production crew. "Because we just got on the sightseeing elevator." The post-production caption was full of tears. "Monkeys can't compare to you too, but we can't compare to monkeys." Chapter 1048. Amidst the laughter of the audience, the episode ended. The ratings for the travel section on Demi's website were also getting higher and higher. On Demi's website, the maximum score was 10 points. 1 to 4 points was the worst of the worst. 5 to 7 points belonged to the average level. 8 points and above could be said to be a work of praise. The rating for the travel section of Two Under One Roof had reached an astonishing 9 points. In other words, it was a masterpiece in the eyes of the netizens who participated in the ratings. Relatively speaking, the ratings for movies were stricter while the ratings for variety shows were relatively lax. Even so, 9 points was enough to shock the industry. The highest score for a variety show in the country was 9. 5 points for Two Under One Roof. In a sense, the travel section could be considered a sequel as it also got 9 points. It was enough to show how much the audience liked it. Some industry insiders predicted that after the travel section ended, it would probably get a score of 9. 2 or 9. 3. In that case, it was equivalent to Lee Jianyu creating another legend. Next, the travel section continued to be updated at a steady pace, with high quality and lots of laughs. The number of clicks repeatedly broke records. Shui and Xiangyi went to the desert, the grassland, the seaside, and the rainforest. The mode was still travel and food. Every time they went to a place, Xiangyi would cook according to the local ingredients. With the broadcast of the overseas version, the travel section could be said to have set off a global tourism craze. Countless netizens would check out the scenic spots that the two of them had visited. The two of them had the same outfits, the same food, the same pose, and so on, which were imitated by people all over the world. In the blink of an eye, it had been 6 days since the 9th episode was broadcast. On this day, a large number of netizens were squatting on Xingchen Video, waiting for the last episode to be broadcasted. The hour hand moved to 7:50 p.m. There were 2 earlier updates, which were released at around 7:50 p.m. Hence, the netizens were used to refreshing the page at 7:50 p.m. They might be able to watch it a few minutes earlier. However, this time, what the netizens refreshed was not a video. Instead, it was a link to the live stream. The netizens were dumbfounded. Everyone clicked on it and there was a heated discussion in the comments section. What's going on? Isn't the travel section a recorded broadcast? Why is it a live stream? Did something go wrong? Could it be that the show hasn't been produced yet and they're going to cancel it today, so they're doing a live stream? Just as everyone was discussing, the name of the live stream changed to Frowny Face Welcome to the live broadcast of Mr. Shui and Ms. Xiangyi's wedding. The live stream seemed to lag, and no one spoke for a long time. A few seconds later, the live broadcast room exploded. Wedding. Live broadcast marriage. This must be fake. How is this possible? Meanwhile, on a small island, it was still daytime because of the time difference. In the dressing room. Good boy. Zhang Jojo, Su Tumi, Mo Feifei, and other Xiangyi's close friends were all there, all dressed in pink bridesmaid outfits. In the middle of the crowd, Xiangyi looked up. Her delicate and fair face looked even more radiant after the bridal makeup. Sorry, can I have a word with you alone? Nan stammered. Zhang Jojo pursed her lips and said, Hurry up then, the wedding is going to start soon and it's going to be live-streamed. Okay. The 3 bridesmaids left. Nan, who was wearing the best man's outfit, spoke incoherently. I've been confessed to. No, I have a friend who has been confessed to. Chapter 1049. Meow. A furry little head popped out from behind Xiangyi. Xiao Naofu took the first plane ride in its cat life. Oh, no, tiger life. It was dizzy for a long time and had been sleeping beside Xiangyi for most of the day. But when it heard the gossip, it was no longer sleepy. Nan didn't know that Xiao Naofu could understand human language, so he poured his heart out to Xiangyi in front of it. It's just that Mr. C. Ahem, not me, it's my friend. No, it's not Mr. C. It's my friend A who confessed to my friend B. Yeah, that's it. Xiangyi had been putting on bridal makeup and hair for a few hours, so she was a little lazy at first. But when she heard Nan's big news, her gaze immediately became the same as Xiao Naofu's. One person and one cat stared straight at Annan. Oh, I see. Back to half an hour ago. Annan received a video call from Old Master C. After a few sentences, Old Master C began to reprimand him. Why are you fooling around outside every day? How can being a manager be a proper profession? Everything is inferior, but studying is the best. Among all studies, the best is to study medical books and become a doctor. Annan felt wronged. Grandpa, I'm dizzy with blood, needles, and internal organs. I can't bear to read medical books. I get a headache just by looking at them. I really don't have the talent. Nonsense. Your parents are both medical students from famous universities. Why can't you do it? Your parents are so outstanding, so you must be outstanding too. Annan opened his mouth, feeling somewhat helpless. Why, was he Daddy and Mommy's child? In fact, he wanted his parents to have a smart, outstanding, and brave child more than anyone else. Not someone like him, stupid, mediocre, and cowardly. He also wanted to tell Grandpa that the best parents in the world could give birth to smart children, but they could also give birth to stupid children like him. However, he didn't dare to say it, and Grandpa never gave him the chance to. Annan lowered his head and listened obediently to Old Master C's lecture. After criticizing for more than 10 minutes, Old Master C's mouth was dry, so he picked up the teacup and drank some water to moisten his throat. Annan heaved a sigh of relief, thinking that today's torture was over, but he didn't expect Old Master C to start the second round. Look at your hair. They were colorful. Was that the color of a normal person? Also, he's a boy and doesn't look like a man at all. A man must be masculine. Get your ass back here. I'll arrange for you to go to your military medical academy for training. Annan's eyes grew redder and redder, but the more he didn't dare to resist, the angrier the old man became. In the end, he even used personal attacks. If you keep crying, don't come back to this house. Don't acknowledge me as your grandfather. Our Mu family will pretend that there was never a trash like you. At this moment, Annan's phone was taken away. Huh? Mr. C. Si Chuanbai held the phone and said in a neither servile nor overbearing manner, Hello, Grandpa Mu. I'm Annan's colleague. Please allow me to say a few words for Annan. Maybe he's not the best manager, but he's definitely the warmest. Occasionally, he will be negligent or inadequate, but he has a meticulous and passionate heart. He is a person who truly works hard for his career. I believe that what you said today was all out of anger, but please don't hurt Annan like this again. After a pause, he said, You don't want him, I want him. Chapter 1050. With that, Si Chuanbai decisively hung up the video call. Annan's eyes widened. How could Mr. C be so calm and decisive? Boo-hoo, he never dared to hang up on his family. Si Chuanbai turned around and their eyes met. Sorry. Both of them spoke at the same time. Si Chuanbai pursed his lips. You go first. I'm sorry to have caused you trouble again. Also, I'm not as good as you say. I know that I can't compare to you in terms of work ability, and I can't help my good girl, Xiangyi with her resources. It's only because she doesn't despise me that I can make a living. Annan's voice was as soft as a mosquito's. He was obviously feeling inferior. Si Chuanbai frowned. No, you're very good. You're very capable, and you treat your artists with sincerity. You're definitely qualified to be a manager. Later on, Mr. C said a lot more. Annan couldn't remember clearly. He only remembered that he seemed to have cried. He heard a soft sigh above his head, followed by a warm hand caressing his head. Si Chuanbai rubbed the little colorful fur on his head and said in a serious tone, Since you like me and I like you, why don't we get married? Annan looked up. Huh? Don't worry. Although I don't have much assets, I only have a few properties in South City and a building. I'll add your name to each property. If you like to work, you can work. If you don't, you can collect rent. I'll take care of all the household chores. As for cooking, I've already signed up for a training class. Now, I can make basic home-cooked dishes. Wait. Anand interrupted him, his voice trembling. Are you talking to me? What else? Is there a second person here? Anand held his breath. Anand's vision turned black, and he almost fainted. No, this can't be true. Anand closed his eyes, counted from 1 to 99, and opened his eyes. Si Chuanbai's strict and cold face was still in front of him. Anand slipped away without any hesitation. Si Chuanbai took 2 steps forward and paused. Could it be that he had misunderstood something? This is the story of my friend A and friend B. Anand braced himself and finished the story. Xiangyi hugged Xiao Naofu, and the cat and human nodded in unison. Okay, I understand. So it was Si Chuanbai who confessed to Anand, but Anand was too flustered and didn't respond. Anand mumbled, Then do you think my friend A and friend B should be together? Xiangyi said with a smile, That depends on you. Did little darling discover something? It depends on how you persuade your friend. If one truly likes someone, then age, gender, family background, and IQ were not the biggest obstacles. What's important is whether or not the two of them can walk down this path with determination and tolerance. Anand, I don't know about that either. Xiangyi, then you can tell your friend. If you don't like it, you don't have to force yourself. Communicate with him properly, and we'll still be friends. Anand was in a daze for a long time before he said softly, What if I like her? Unrequited love was the most humble form of love. The person he liked was as unattainable as the moon. Therefore, he had hidden his love for her in the most unknown corner of his heart. But now, the moonlight shone in. Before Xiangyi could speak, Xiao Naofu jumped off her lap and kicked Anand in the face. Hurry up and be with this hoo-hoo, meow. Anand woke up from his dream and ran out without looking back. He wanted to climb up that ray of light and land on the one and only moon in this world. P.S. Nan's story can't be written anymore. There are quite a lot of restrictions now, so let's just assume that the two people in the story are happy and fulfilled. Good night. Chapter 1051. Looking at Anand stumbling but running forward without hesitation, Xiangyi's eyes curved into crescents. They were a perfect couple. Oh yeah, even Xiao Naofu couldn't help but exclaim, You're making me anxious. Meow meow. Although it could speak human language, it still couldn't help but instinctively roar like a tiger. Xiangyi rubbed the back of its neck a few times and teased. Xiao Naofu, have you gained weight again? Why do you feel like you've gotten heavier? No. Xiao Naofu was extremely guilty. It just ate an extra can of cat food, 2 bowls of cat food, and some dried fish every day. Besides, Little White Tiger was the one who fed it, not the other way around. It was as good as not eating at all. Stupid woman, you're really bad at math. Really? Xiangyi was very puzzled. Ever since she and Shi Sui started filming the show, they had entrusted Xiao Naofu to Xiangyi's grandfather. According to Xiangyi's grandfather, Xiao Naofu's appetite seemed to be quite normal. But why did it become as fat as 2 cats? Its V-shaped face turned into a small round face, then an oval face. Could it be? Xiangyi squinted. Someone fed you? Xiao Naofu's fur immediately stood on end. Lord Hu didn't feed me. They looked at each other. Xiao Naofu pretended to be innocent. Meow meow, it didn't say anything. It was just an ordinary and mediocre kitten. At this moment, there was a fluctuation in the air. Xiangyi looked over sharply. What came into view was a pink paw pad. She wanted to pinch it. The little white tiger dug out a hole and exasperatedly said, Stupid, stupid, stupid. So stupid. You're giving me face just like that. Stupid cat. Fat cat. Xiao Naofu said aggrievedly, I'm not a cat, I'm a big brain, I am. Me too. look at that ignorant face of yours. Now, I will let you see this hoo-hoo's true body. What is a real brain? Big old axe. Cough, big tiger. The little white tiger cursed in its heart. It was all because of that stupid rabbit and this stupid cat. Both of them had distorted its pure accent. Xiangyi was also a little curious. What did the little white tiger look like? However, he remained vigilant. The little white tiger sensed it and muttered, "Stupid woman." Its body suddenly enlarged and expanded in the air. Shua, a white tiger with a snow-white body appeared. Its fur was soft and lustrous, and it danced without any wind. It was majestic and awe-inspiring, with a hint of sacred aura. When he opened his mouth again, even his voice had changed from a childish one to a deep and powerful one. "Fat cat, do you know how powerful this hoo-hoo is now?" "Wow!" Xiao Naofu's pure cat eyes were filled with yearning. "Woo-woo, this is what I want to be." Xiangyi felt a sharp pain in the depths of her brain, and her face turned slightly pale. Fortunately, her willpower was astonishing, and she didn't show any abnormalities. The sharp pain lasted for about a few seconds, and a few blurry images flashed past, like incomplete fragments. However, among those fragments, the figure of the white tiger gnawing on a carrot appeared. Pudgy! The white tiger in the air shook and shrank back to its original size like a deflated balloon. It looked at Xiangyi in shock. How could it be her? Could it be that this is the price Lord Shui had to pay for giving up everything back then? After a moment, Xiangyi returned to normal and probed. Do you want to eat carrots? It wouldn't be too much to bribe Xiao Naofu to find out the whereabouts of his good friend, little Shiji, right? You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.